This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by
LGL Report.
Pro-freedom jewelry from my #1 student.
LGL Report.
So she can directly call to the automated broadcast rather than bothering the operator on duty with something that's not entirely time sensitive. Around 5:30 a.m., Vesna gives the dancer a ride home. Around the same time, one of the detainees is released from town hall and gets a ride home from the Epping activist. Around noon, roughly 9 hours after this stuff began, a Manchester ABC affiliate shows up on the scene and does a story. But the TV crew does not mention the protest, and even if it had, there are not yet any stills or videos up from the activists by the time the station's report airs. They wouldn't have had any video or stills to grab anyway. As always, this success comes with missed opportunities. No one ever calls the TV station. No one ever posts a clear summary of events. There's no complete who, what, where, when, why. None of the activists have a quick.com account and smartphone. They're unable to upload any live video. The exhausted Vesna is unable to upload her tape until the next evening. The RV crew's video appears a full 3 days later. No one remembers to shoot still photos or upload them to nhfair.com. But, as usual, the imperfect videos impress viewers around the world. They show the growing response capabilities of a growing movement. They expose new people to the activism that's going on in New Hampshire. 2 of them joined the Free State Project within the month, and 1 arrives in state a year later. Blog posts from the scene trigger donations to Service Marv. And they trigger more follow-on activity the next day. An unrelated activist listening to 107.7 in the Manchester area notices the new Attorney General is being interviewed and that calls are being accepted. He calls in to question the man about victimless crime raids. The AG becomes flustered and, in a slip that will haunt his career, he says, quote, "We need to clean the streets of sluts like these," unquote. Later that night, the activist calls Free Talk Live to provide as many details as he can about the situation. 2 employees of the strip club join nhfree.com, and 1 becomes a regular activist in the Seacoast area. As for the new Porcupine 911 service, the incident gives activists a chance to evaluate its worth. This time it seems to have sped responses by about 10 minutes, but it has also tripled the overall amount of immediate response. Is that worth the extra effort and cost? The debate begins and continues. So too does the growth of these first responder institutions. So too does concern by government agencies. But as is so often the case, all the quashing efforts of all the king's men succeed mostly in creating more Humpty Dumptys. Libertarian first response begins to become an established institution in New Hampshire.
I think it's a dispute as to where the right-of-way is. LCL Report. .com.
Pro-freedom jewelry from my #1 student, Taryn Lupo at the Low Country Liberty Report. Just click on the jewelry link at
LCL Report. LCL Report. .com.